This deck was absolutely terrible. We're going to talk about it today. So if you ever are thinking about green and blue, drafting an Ixalan, I don't know if there's going to be any more drafts of these, but this card and these cards do not work in this deck. We can see the sideboard over here, and we're going to start with creatures. To start, we got Cavern Stomper. It's pretty good, but again, when you're going against an aggressive deck, not going to work at all. I don't know if I should have put this one in here, but I didn't have anything to mill. This card is also terrible. Colossadactyl, it's a good card for a 4-drop. I didn't mind that one. Another bad card, because I didn't really ever get any big guys out there. This one was bad. Merfolk Cave Divers. Now, I had this. I had the Scout and the Guide. And then I had two of this one. So if we ever explored, we tried to get the +1. But the problem was we never really got the engine cooking, because this one gets +1/+1 if anything explores. But this doesn't explore, and this explores only once, and then this explores. So we have two things that can explore, and we have so many more creatures that need it to explore. And then the Seeker of Sunlight, you can pay 3 to explore, but again, this is a really tough engine to get cooking, because it's not like that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought this engine was going to cook, and then we were going to go over to my enchantment, which was the Deeproot Pilgrimage. Whenever something explores, so we were going to explore the merfolk, get them on the battlefield, and then whenever they attack, we get tokens. The only game I went 1-6 with this deck, the only time I did win was when this was cooking with a couple low-level merfolk. It's a great engine, but we didn't have enough merfolk because they're so popular in draft. A lot of people like to pick blue, but it's tough because everyone's picking it. This card was sweet. Out of Air, great. 2 great spells for removal. I was happy I picked those. And then Eaten by Piranhas. I wish I had more copies of this in the deck, but it's a great way to just slow down a black deck. This card was okay. I don't know if you need it. It was another explore thing, so you could kind of double up on the exploring. But again, not a lot of the cards we had explore. This only works with 3 of our cards. Again, the game I won, this was on the battlefield. So the engine is okay, but the engine was way too niche. And then this card. Because I'm such a noob, I knew Spelunking was great. And then I also have a ton of caves in here. We have the Pit of Offerings, which is technically a cave, even though it kind of doesn't act like it. Never got to play that card. 2 Nurseries, 1 Cataract, and then 1 Cave. But it doesn't really matter, because this card is terrible in draft. It's good in just mono green decks, but I picked 2 of them because I'm like, oh, I've seen this card online. This card is sick, but this card is actually terrible. And then we go down, we got Seeker of Sunlight, Tendril of Mycont, and this one's cool. I never got up to the 7/7 or the 7 to use it because I was dead before then. The Poison Dart Frog, don't regret picking this. This is awesome. You can add mana of any color. I love this for a 2-drop. I kind of want to build a deck around this. But again, Bristleback, you can use it to Force Cycle or 7-drop. You can also get the green token out there, which is a nice card. 2 options with it. I don't think this is highly rated in draft. I'd still like picking it. Because you can pay just 2 with it if you are mana screwed. This card's bad. I went all in for it. I should have known that it was getting drafted to me. It was getting dropped. People didn't want it. And the Cave Divers, Brawlers. Yeah, I had all the weak merfolk. But again, it was kind of fun. This one really hurt me. Growing Rites of Idelmok was fun. Twist and Turns was fun. I don't know if I needed this card. I use it in one of my standard Silencia decks. And you pretty much just look at the top 4 cards and grab a creature, put it in your hand. Whatever, not that good. Out of Air, great. You can pretty much pay 2 less if you're just not having a creature come in. But all of these worked, but it just didn't slow down any of the big guys I was coming in with. I don't know how to properly get the caves coming in to work in this format. So again, quick little video. This is a deck. I will link it in the description. It is deck 4 Ixalan from my public profile on Moxfield. This deck went 1-6. This deck was terrible. Hopefully, you don't draft like this in your next draft.